Please welcome Miss LaRissa Lawrie.
Okay, so I want to start by pointing out that we've always found ways to avoid communication, whether that's playing on our cell phones or reading the newspaper. But nowadays, the conversations that we are having have taken a meaner turn. It seems like no topic is safe from devolving into an argument. And we're more polarized and more divided than we've ever been before, but we can bridge those ideological gaps. Now, I make my living talking to people. Some of them I agree with and some I disagree with on a deeply personal level. But we always have great conversations. And today I'd like to talk to you about getting the most out of your communication toolbox and really connecting to other people. Now, there are a lot of ways to do that, but today I'm going to cover 3. First, confidence. Second, engagement. And third, empathy. So before we get to the advice, I want you to take a second and think about all the tips that you've gotten about how to pretend that you're listening to someone. Because if you're actually listening to someone, you don't in fact need to pretend that you're listening to someone. So that brings me to my first point. Confidence. Guys, I know it's hard. It's hard coming out of our shells. It's hard talking to people. And you guys have to take a second and realize that if we only ever talk to people that have the same experiences, ideas, and opinions that we do, we're never going to grow as people. So to better enjoy conversations that don't waste time, that don't bore us, and that don't offend other people, we have to stop taking things so personally. And we have to stop seeking out conversations that reinforce our egos. So the act of listening requires the setting of oneself aside. And sometimes that means the setting aside of one's own personal opinions. We're gonna feel a lot more confident and comfortable in conversations if we don't feel judged. So take a cue from journalists. Treat every conversation like a mini interview. And always treat everyone like they have something to teach you. Which brings me to my second point, engagement. Be in the moment. Thoughts, questions, and opinions are gonna come to you, and you have to let them go. Because if you have a question, the person might answer it in the next breath or in the next story. So slow down. Don't multitask. When someone's talking, don't think about what you're gonna have for dinner or play on your cell phone or worry about packing your kid's lunch. This allows people to unpack their suitcases. You get to hear about their awesome stories. But if you don't really engage, you only get the socks, the little stuff, the things that really don't give us pause. But if you listen to people, they're gonna unpack the big things, like their shirts and their shoes. They're gonna tell you what they fear, what they love, what they wanna do with their lives. And those are the things that really matter. And you're gonna figure out that you like people a lot more than you think you already do. Which brings me to my third point. Oh, whoops, not my third point. If you wanna engage with people without any room for pushback or growth, then you really should run for political office. I really wanted to get that in there. Now on to my third point, empathy. Most of us listen with the intent to talk back. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that before. But empathy is the spark that drives goodwill and good acts. So if you always come from a place of empathy, amazing things are gonna happen. And there's some ways to show that you are more empathetic, like treating conversations like a team event. Ask open-ended questions. Who, where, what, why. Really get into the good stuff. The next one is to not equate your experiences with others. They're never the same. If someone talks about their Yellowstone trip, don't talk about your awesome rock climbing. Let that person have their moment. Give them time. Make it about them. And the world is so busy that they need that moment. If everyone slowed down for just a second and cared about other people and their stories, we would be in a really better place. Because people care about the ideas. They don't care about the name of this bridge. They care about the idea of love and symbolism and caring about other people. So I'm gonna leave you today with a challenge. And the next week, try to find someone that you would have never talked to otherwise and ask them about their lives. Really connect with another person. and prepare to be amazed. Thank you for listening to my talk.